If your pieces just sit in your studio, no one sees them generally, so it's good. It's really good to get things out. I kind of see the ceramic and steel as being almost like yin-yang. The steel is so hard and unrelenting, and the clay, when you're working with it, is probably the most malleable substance there is. And it's so ancient. People have been creating art with clay from the time that people existed. I spent my 20s and 30s in a Hindu monastery in San Francisco. When I left there at 42 years old, I had the rather romantic notion that I could step out into the world and make a living being an artist. Reality hit rather fast on that score. I got my hands in clay. I said, this is it. I love this medium. Over 20 plus years, it's been exploring what can I do and what can't I do with clay. It's not so strong when you're trying to build a large 3D piece just out of clay. That's extremely challenging. But now that I can weld and I can use steel, I can create sculptures that hold the clay. So I can combine both. I've always been drawn to animal imagery. I'm very inspired by Central American Mayan stone carvings and the ceramic work from Central American cultures. I love taking an animal form and trying to represent its kind of mythological essence. There was a moment a few years ago where I really thought I'm not going to be able to do this because everything was no, no, no. So you get used to a lot of rejection. But I've been attempting to be a full-time artist for many years, and I would say the last 4 or 5 years it's been working. I sometimes think it takes 15, 20 years to really get established as an artist. It takes a good amount of time to really find your voice, what it is that you want to say to the world with your art. Also, it takes a while just to get established enough that people feel confident paying good sums of money for your pieces. I'm especially drawn to public art because I love the idea of being able to provide artwork in a public setting where it becomes part of the community. And you're working with committees and community representatives to create something for the community, for the greater whole. Some of the pieces are more community engaged, and where people are going to write in 15 words or less some of their feelings, their thoughts, their memories, and then I'm going to take their ideas and actually stamp the words into clay tiles that will become part of one of the pieces. So it's fun to actually have that community engagement where people are actually helping create the piece. A lot of cities have a 1% for the art program, which means if say they're building a park, 1% of that budget has to be dedicated for public art for the park. Public art has incredible value for a small town. Lafayette has embraced that wholeheartedly with their rotating sculpture program. 21 pieces change out every April. They buy a piece or two each year to add to the collection. That is a wonderful way for a community to create a unique sense of place for their town. I think what's so interesting about public art and art in general is you have an inner inspiration for a piece. So this piece is actually a physical manifestation of an idea. And all of a sudden it's out in the world, and it takes on a life of its own out there. People start engaging it in ways that you never would have dreamed of, because you just have no idea how people are going to respond to it. I think sometimes when you're spending 3 months on one piece, it's really refreshing to get in and just maybe do a piece in a day or even in a few hours, and just do something light and let it just flow in its own way and not plan too much. If you're an artist, make lots of art, especially with sculpture. I think it takes a long time to really hone in on what it is you want to do. And the only way to find out what you want to do is to do a ton of it. Just keep making things. Just keep making. Don't worry about perfecting that piece, because you don't really have the skills in the beginning to perfect a piece. And so the more you do, the more you'll learn about your limitations. You'll learn about what it is you want to create. So I would say make lots of art as an artist. Just keep churning it out and you'll find your voice. I want to thank the city of Lafayette too for funding these films about local artists. I think it's a wonderful little thing that they're doing for the art community here.